show. We will be live every 2 days with a very, very special lineup of different guests representing different countries in this World Cup. A very elite lineup, if I might say. So we'll have Big Steve. You might know Big Steve. He will represent England. We'll also have Aaron for Germany, Paulo for Portugal, and also Ty for Brazil, and including myself. Representing France, obviously. So yeah, welcome to the show, guys. First, I would like to thank FanFest and also Matchday for giving us the opportunity to do this show. So without further ado, I will introduce Paolo, Ty, and Big Steve on the show. Big Steve will be here in a minute. How you doing, guys?
Good, man.
Wow, that's a sick kit that you have here. What's that? Is that the training one?
This one,
Yeah.
goalkeeping kit.
All right.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
the one of
Do you
this
know-
season, isn't it?
Yeah, do you know what? It's actually my friend's, but because my Brazil kit's not arrived yet, he gave me it to borrow for the show. So I was like,
Nice. I can see Paulo. He has the brand new training gear of this World Cup, isn't it?
oh, I can't hear him.
Yeah, you're on mute, mate. I think. Yeah. So Big Steve is here. How you doing?
Yes.
How you
All
doing,
right,
mate? Good
Yeah,
day
well,
for you, brother.
Yeah, good day, wasn't it? Good day.
Yeah. I mean, come on, that's just Iran. It's again, it's a massive, great start that you guys had, and I think you celebrated kind of like you won the World Cup already.
We always do, man. We always do.
Yeah. So you were at this. What's that? Is that a fan zone in Manchester?
Yeah, it was a fan zone in Manchester. To be honest, because the kickoff was like 1 p.m. and everyone was working. I didn't think it was going to be that busy, but I think everyone just loves the World Cup, don't they? In England, gets involved, and it was really good, well run. Yeah, I mean it's only Iran, but you can only beat what's in front of you. So no, it was good. I enjoyed it.
That's a great start. We'll talk about England in a minute, obviously, because you guys are the only ones that have played yet. Paolo, can you hear us now? No, we can't hear you, mate. We can't hear you. Yeah, you know what? Just look, try to reconnect. It should be fine.
Yeah, thank you for having me, Paris. By the way, thank you.
We need to talk about Brazil, man, because they are the favorites, you know, and
people putting pressure on me already.
Because people are sleeping on England, France, Portugal, and most of the people are saying this year will be the year of either Argentina or Brazil. What do you think?
I think this is the best chance Brazil have had in a number of years, if I'm totally honest with you. I feel like, Stu, obviously, I don't know how old you are, Stu, but I know Steve.
32.
Same as me, would you say?
Yeah, 32
oh,
years
32.
Old.
Oh, okay. Yeah. You're a couple years older than me. And I know Steve, obviously, is good friends with my boy Daps. So, obviously, you've seen a lot of World Cups.
Yeah.
And I'm going to throw it out there. I actually believe, in terms of the World Cups we've watched, us guys, since like 1998, 2002 onwards, the quality isn't as great as what we've seen in like the years gone back. I feel like this is quite an open World Cup in terms of like, if England do get a great run together, there's no reason why they can't win it. France, even with their injuries, there's no reason why they can't. Portugal, you look at their team this year, there's no reason why they can't. I don't think there's absolute standouts. I think it's a World Cup where all teams need to look at it and say, do you know what? There's an opportunity here. And for Brazil, obviously being the 5-time winners and not having won it for a while, and you've got Neymar now, when you look at him, and it's probably potentially his last World Cup, there's no better chance for Brazil, man. Unbeaten in the whole qualification. You got Neymar, who is the main man now, but it's not just Neymar. For me, with Brazil, you've got Neymar, but then you've got Vinicius. You've got Richarlison, who plays well for them. You've got Gabriel Jesus. Anthony, you've got Rafinha. When you look at the depth they've got, this is actually going to enable Neymar for me to flourish this tournament, because it's not all about Neymar where he's playing up front with Fred.
Yeah. So the interesting point that you mentioned right now is that Brazil is actually playing as a team rather than Argentina is only playing for Messi. I don't know if you saw this interview of the Argentinian players saying that we're ready to die on the pitch for Messi so he can win this World Cup. So they will only play for him to win it, rather than Brazil kind of playing as a team and try to win for the country. Paulo, Portugal. Everyone is sleeping on Portugal, mate. I give you favorites. If there's a final between Portugal and Brazil, I'm going Portugal.
Really? Why's that?
And then Cristiano Ronaldo will do shush to everyone.
Yeah. Why is that? Why do you think Portugal could make it to the final?
Well, I mean, your record at a international level is quite good. I think you don't have massive injuries at the moment as well.
Yeah.
And also, Ronaldo is not in Qatar for tourism, mate. I'm telling you, it's his
Mm.
last World Cup, and he's here to prove something as well.
Yeah. No, I think look, Portugal, I've said it so many times. I feel like the 2006 World Cup and then up to 2016, I never thought Portugal ever really had a chance to get to the final because the quality wasn't really there. You're looking at Ronaldo, Nani, Ricardo Quaresma,
Yeah.
they were still standing out. Like those were the only 4 players that really stood out. And now, only within the last few years, are we seeing Bernardo Silva, Diogo Jota, Rafael Leão, Cancelo, Ruben Diaz, all of these players. So I feel like the depth is there, the quality is there, is the mentality there, and is the manager the right one to get us there? And this is the last World Cup for Ronaldo. I'm expecting big things.
But mate, Ronaldo is almost behaving like a manager anyway.
Yeah, that's true.
That's the thing as well, with the experience. Also on the touchline, the way his body language and everything. So, but Big Steve is smiling because England smashed it today. Are you surprised of the result?
Yeah, to be honest, I've actually backed Portugal myself privately, only because I rate Portugal. I just think they've got a good side, and I think.
Is that with Ronaldo out the starting 11?
No. Listen to this. I'll show you the slip. I've backed Portugal to win it, and I've backed Ronaldo for the Golden Boot because I think he's got a point to prove. I think he's angry. I think there's a lot of winners in that team. The Portuguese players, like I watch a lot of them. Diaz is a winner. Cancelo is a winner. Bernardo Silva, he's quality on his day. I think it's just a case of they've got the players, they've got the squad. It's just like you say, the manager's got to add that little bit to the mix and make the right decisions at the right time. And anyone can do it. But it's similar to England. Like I said it from day one, England's squad on paper is a great squad. But Gareth Southgate sometimes has the shackles on. And if he plays defensively and starts very, very negatively, it just kills England by 60, 70%. Yeah. And then you look today, when we finally got a lead and he decided to throw in Foden and Rashford and Grealish, and you look how much better we look there on the ball. I know it's only Iran, but I went to the Germany-England game at Wembley. We were absolutely diabolical until he thought the game was over and he threw the guys on Grealish and that. And we started to play football. And I think England's got the tools to do anyone on the day. But it's whether, for me, Gareth Southgate has got the balls to go that way and stop being negative. Look at the Euro final. We're 1-0 up against Italy at home. We're at home. And then we're shutting up shop and trying to scrape it 1-0. If we'd have just gone and played the England way, let the lads off the leash, the young generation, let them play the football, we'd have won that. But, it's whether Gareth can do it for me. And I'm just unsure a little bit on Gareth. The team, the players, I believe in it. But as you see today, goal scorers, Bellingham, Saka and that. But
I've got a question for you. As obviously, I'm English myself, so I want England to go far. Of course I do, but I've just always loved Brazil. But in terms of England today, they played a 4-3-3, which we know we've not seen for a long time. Do you believe if England get through to the knockouts, as we're talking, last 16, quarterfinals potentially against France, Stu's team, does he stick with that? Or is it just because it was Iran? Because I think for England to be successful, he needs to be brave, like you're saying. And I don't know if he'll revert to type if he gets deeper in the competition.
Well, this is I understand, and this is my problem with him. He has to stay that way. These group games now is an ideal opportunity for England to get the confidence up, to test this system. The only downplay to the system for me today, every time Declan Rice got the ball, he's looking for someone to come in to get it. Mason Mount was too far away sometimes, so Rice's only option was backwards. For me, Phil Foden, Jack Grealish in the 10, I just think offers a little bit more than Mount, but I mean, he's just got to have that, like you say, he's got to have that bottle when we get to these, like if we get France, let's go negative, let's play Calvin Phillips in there, let's try and stifle the game. That's not the way we're going to win it, you know what I mean? But because he got to the final that way in the Euros, I'm thinking in my head, is he going to go that way? I just hope he doesn't. I just hope he lets the young ones go.
That's interesting, Steve, because you just mentioned France as kind of being a threatening team. Whereas me, as a Frenchman, and considering all the injuries we had recently, our squad looks way different from 2018, and also key players are not missing. So on my end, obviously I will always back my country, but I think it will be a bit complicated for us for this World Cup. And also, there's this curse around when you won the previous World Cup, then you're getting kicked out of the group stage as well. I think it happened to Germany, it happened to Spain as well.
Yeah.
So now basically Benzema is out and Kunku is out. Obviously Kimpembe has been kicked out also before traveling to Qatar, but also now Kamavinga is experiencing some kind of discomfort as well.
Oh, is that
So
right?
I have actually the reshuffled starting 11 of France right now, and it looks way different. So basically up front we'll have Giroud, Griezmann is replacing Nkunku, and Griezmann is a bit shaky, to be fair. Mbappe as well. On the right side, we can have Dembele, and on the left side, we have Coman as well. Midfield will be Tchouaméni, Kamavinga, and Fofana. And the back four will be Theo Hernandez, his brother Lucas Hernandez or Konate from Liverpool, or Upamecano. And then on the right side, we'll have either Varane or Saliba, and right side as well, Pavard or Koundé. And obviously, Hugo Lloris in the goal. So again, I think, guys, the France squad is a bit shaky this year. What do you think? Do you find us threatening?
Yeah. I think, as Ty said before, I think the quality on a lot of teams, it's not one of them World Cups where back in the day where you're reeling off these world-class superstars and you're looking forward to it. There's certain games where you're just like, nah, it's not for me. But France on the day can do it. Like you say, I think it's a very open World Cup. I think there's going to be a lot of controversy in it somewhere. I think the level of refereeing up to now has been a bit crazy. I mean, look at the England game today. They go to VAR in the first couple of minutes. John Stones and Maguire both get wrestled to the ground in the box. No pen.
Crazy,
last minute in a dead rubber game, a little tug on the shirt in the box pen. So it's the consistency that we need. But France, I mean, anyone with Mbappe on the day, one of the best in the world. You've got to be able to say they're going to do stuff. But I think, like I say, with England, I think it's down to the manager with us. If he shackles the team, we could end up falling at the hurdle. If he just thinks, you know what, I'd rather him just go, you know what, let's go for it. If we go for it and get beat and we go out, we die on our sword, I'll take that bit of pride, bit of English pride. But when I came out of that Euro final the other year, and I was like, you know what, I don't think we're ever going to get a better chance than that. And I think we just got stifled in our play. So I'm just hoping, Gareth, if you're watching this, so I am.
Especially for me, Steve, as well. I think with England, you look at the Croatia even 4 years ago in the World Cup in the semi-final. You look at the run they had. I think it was Colombia. Then they had maybe Sweden, or I can't remember who it was, but it was quite a nice run. Yeah, that was it. And I just looked at that for me. And when everyone talks about Southgate's improved and look where England are going now, I'm like, cool. Do you know what? I'm going to give him his dues. He's done great to get us this far in these tournaments. But for me, if I'm being honest, I look at them as missed opportunities. Croatia, you go 1-0 up and you should then kick on, because Croatia's side was okay. I get it. It was a good Croatia side, but we could still beat that Croatia side. Then you go 1-0 up in the Euros final against Italy, and then you allow them to come back in the game. So for me, it's great getting to these semis and finals, but I'm like, the last bit, they could have done that. And I think when you look at Croatia in the semi, and then obviously you probably would have lost to France in the final, I understand that, but then going ahead against Italy, you don't get better opportunities, I don't think. And even this year, when we're looking at the quality, I get it that we would agree that like the quality is not great. I just don't feel like them losses have put us in a better position when it gets to the quarters and semis, as obviously being an English person. But for you, Stu, with France, I have to say that I'm
not as confident as 2018, obviously.
No, bro, it's your midfield. I'll be honest with you.
It sounds like
players.
the Pogba which teller like that,
Pogba and Kante, bro. I'm telling you now, people talk about them. They are huge for your system.
And everyone is saying that Pogba in the French national team is the Pogba that United wants, but it's not happening.
He's creative. You've got the balance of creativity with Pogba and Kante for the legs. And I feel like with Tchouaméni, Kamavinga, Fofana, good players, but they're very similar. Like they're more deep sitting players, a bit more destroying, give the ball to the next person. But if they're giving the ball to each other, who's getting that creative spark? When you look at Spurs, obviously in club football, you always say they missed that number 10. You look at that guy when they play. You're like that this year. I'm like, where's your creative spark coming from? But that's for Deschamps to sort out. That's what I think.
I know. Paulo, tell us about Portugal. Your group looks kind of not easy, but obviously Uruguay is the one that is a bit threatening. But you have Ghana and South Korea. Do you think it will be an easy group for you, or will finish top of the group?
I think it's going to be a hard group. I think that when you look at Uruguay, I think they're not. The thing is, I said it before in I was talking with a couple people about it, and it's what you classify as an underdog. And I feel like Uruguay could be that team in this tournament who could surprise a lot of people.
Yeah.
Darwin Núñez, Cavani still going somehow. Suarez is playing. Valverde in midfield. They've got good players in their team, and I feel like that could be the game that could either get us out the group or listen. Portugal in recent tournaments have really made it hard for themselves, and I know that last year in the Euros we had France, Germany, and Hungary in the group, so it was always going to be a group of death. But Portugal have always struggled and made it hard for themselves, lapses in concentration throughout games, and I feel like it's going to be a difficult group. Ghana, I've got Lamptey, AU. They got good players as well, Ghana.
Decent squad, yeah, definitely.
Decent squad as well. So I don't think it's going to be an easy game. And Son for Korea, you already know he's going to turn up. So I think it's not going to be an easy group for us. But when you look at the depth in our team, I mean, we should get past this group. The Uruguay game, as you guys have seen throughout the route, whoever gets first or second. So if you finish first, I think Brazil's group will either get Switzerland or Serbia.
Yeah.
If we finish second, we get Brazil in the round of 16, and I don't want that. You know what I mean? I don't want that. So we need to beat Uruguay. And they knocked us out in World Cup 2018 as well, round of 16. We won. So we need to win because I don't want to get Brazil in the round of 16.
Tyrone, Brazil, Cameroon, Serbia, Switzerland is. Loads of people are saying Serbia is the dark horse of the competition as well.
You know what? You look at Serbia, right? And you look at profiles, tournament football, right? You could say you don't have to play the best football. You just want to get through and sort of you build momentum as you go. You look at Vlahovic, Mitrovic up front, and then I look at the wide man. You've got Filip Kostic, obviously plays for Juve now, and then you've got the centre midfielder Milinkovic-Savic, right? He's very dynamic anyway. He's box to box. But if you're looking at sort of like today, Wales, they lumped on Kiefer Moore in the second half, changed the dynamic of the game. You look at Vlahovic and obviously Mitrovic, very physical. You're getting Kostic. He's probably one of the best crossers in European football. And you've got Milinkovic-Savic arriving on the end of things. I think they're going to be a threat in a way that they might not have to play the sexiest football. But if they're getting them deliveries in and they're getting chances, they're going to be a threat for anyone. I'm not saying that they're going to go deeply far in the tournament. But when you look at like Serbia and some of the quality they now have, they do have goal scorers. They do have people that can score goals and create.
Be careful to Switzerland, guys. We struggled against them. You know what happened for France?
He wants Akanji to go through.
Yeah. Be careful.
I went out. Get Akanji out, man. We need players, man. We need players.
They're a tricky side to play again, to be fair. And also, Granit Xhaka is on fire, but it's not only a one-man team. So be careful to Switzerland as well.
What do you fancy the way you're talking? I feel like you fancy Switzerland over Serbia. I did at first, but now
getting qualified. I think the order of that group will be Brazil, Switzerland, Serbia, and Cameroon last.
Paolo, you don't think so, innit?
I think Serbia might get second. I think their team they made Portugal get into the playoffs.
Yeah, but again, everyone is sleeping on Switzerland. Trust me.
Yeah, no, I think that's it's either our group or that group of death. I mean, this year's been a bit more mixed. The groups are a bit more mixed around. There's
Paulo, your group will be Portugal. Second will be Uruguay, and then what? South Korea, Ghana, or Ghana, South Korea.
Ghana, South Korea, I think.
Ghana, South Korea. I think Son won't.
South Korea is a bit of a one-man team, guys. To be fair, I'm sorry to say.
Yeah.
So they are.
I mean, it's just the fact. Like, obviously, if Son is in a good mood, he can do something, but he can't do everything on his own. So
it's a difficult group. Yeah,
it will be a bit tricky. To be fair, guys, Belgium still first of the FIFA ranking. I don't know why.
No,
us French never understood why Belgium has been ranked first in the world. They never won anything, but they're still first in FIFA ranking. I don't know. Sorry for my Belgian friends, but that's. Do you understand that? Because
it hurts me when I see that. It hurts me because, again, I don't want to relate this back to the Euros. They knocked us out in the round of 16. We should have won that game, but that's what I'm going to say. But you look at De Bruyne, you look at Lukaku, you look at the defense is still. How long have we been saying that the defense is aging?
Yeah.
How long have we been saying this for? They're down to get found out again. And I feel like, wait, so they're in. Who might they get in the round of 16 then?
Well, their group round of 16.
Yeah, who might they get? I think they'll definitely go through.
because it's Belgium, Canada, Croatia, Morocco. It's a tricky group, by the way, because Canada. Yeah. It's Belgium, Canada, Croatia, Morocco.
Morocco are like secretly dangerous.
Yeah.
Croatia, we know they know how to play
Tunisia
tournaments.
as well is going for it. Trust me, man. They're here.
And Canada are kind of like a new gen Canada with Jonathan David. They've got Alphonse Davies. Like they've got some random players that might just turn up at a tournament because they've never really been there before. I'll be honest with you. I'm going to throw it out there. I think Belgium could go out in the groups. I really don't like this Belgium team. I really don't.
Canada first, and then Croatia, and then Belgium.
Well, Belgium got beat off Egypt the other night. Kevin De Bruyne gave the ball away.
Talking it's
really bad, and they scored Egypt. So you just never know. There's always a couple of big gun surprises that go out early doors. And I mean, hey, listen, if Belgium go out early doors, that's great for me. De
Bruyne is in cotton.
I'm happy to get back. I'm happy.
Yeah, either way in the round of 16, I just remembered they'll get either the next group ahead. It will be either Spain or Germany in the round.
They're gone.
They're gone anyway. They get to round of 16. Germany is again another team where if they get to the quarterfinals, you probably think they're going to get straight to the semis or finals because they're their team, their experience and their mentality is on a different level. So I think if Germany get past Belgium in the quarterfinals, they're getting straight to the semis or finals. The mentality is different.
Well, again, I think if Belgium is going out of the group stage, Thibaut Courtois, their keeper, will always blame France, even if we're not in the group, because he always blames us. I don't know why this jealousy they have with France. That's just the thing.
I think Roberto Martinez could go as well. I think he's done this in his third tournament. I think similar to Southgate, a fourth tournament now. I just feel like Belgium are to change. I feel like he needs to change as well. Like they just say, do you know what? Let's take a hit. And let's just rebuild. Sometimes football clubs have to do it themselves as clubs, but in international football, you kind of get a bit more time. It's like 2 years every tournament. You can squeak your way through to a European competition. You play like San Marinos and stuff like that. I just feel like Belgium need a complete restructure. And I think they're the big guns that are gonna. I think they
guys. Do you know if Thierry Henry is still involved with the Belgian squad?
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, he is still.
I seen him and De Bruyne doing some shooting thing the other day. I watched some on Instagram, and he's still involved. Yeah,
is Lukaku even fit? Does anyone know?
I'm not sure.
No, I don't know.
I don't think.
I think he's in the squad, but I'm not.
Yeah, I don't think he's fully fit either. Yeah, see, where the goal's gonna come from when you look at Eden Hazard's not the same player now, unfortunately, since he's moved to Madrid. Like Batshuayi, I'm sorry, but come on, you know what it's like.
There are a couple of good players, interesting players, such as the Leicester guy. What's his name? Tielemans.
He's a good player.
Yeah, you know those type of players, like they underrated, but trust me, they can make the difference. So that's a bit tricky. Group E, we have Costa Rica, Germany, Japan, Spain. Germany, unfortunately, Aaron was not able to make it, but everyone is still sleeping on Germany because it's not the Germany that it used to be. But Germany is always a solid country when it comes to the World Cup.
Yeah, to be honest, with Germany, when they played England the other week, they were head and shoulders above England for a long parts of the game. They've got some good players. I really like Musiala from Bayern Munich. I'm gutted that because obviously he was English. He could have played for us, but he didn't. I think he's unreal. He just looks like a great athlete. Leroy, obviously.
I was about to mention Steve, Leroy Sané,
Yeah, Leroy's got everything, but it depends what Leroy turns up. If it's the sulking Leroy and he can't be bothered, then he's not worth a tap. If it's Leroy that's on it, then he's absolutely dangerous. Ilkay Gundogan is rolling back the years. He's playing very deep for them.
One of the most underrated players.
Yeah, he's good. I mean, Germany are just efficient. They're like a machine. They're the same as the German cars. You know what you get with them. They turn up and they do the job. So at the end of the day, I don't think anyone will sleep on Germany. I think if they can get going early doors, then there could be a problem. But I think the group with Spain,
Japan and Costa Rica.
Japan, Costa Rica, I'm not really bothered about. Japan, you never know what Japan's going to turn up.
Thank you. I was about to mention.
So it's good. It's going to be interesting. Once them groups start going, I think it's going to be interesting. We just watched Wales and USA have a draw, 1-1, a good result for England. And then obviously Netherlands, who wasn't overly great.
Yeah, exactly.
They need to all go out, the Netherlands players, and buy Mendy a present because he was shocking tonight. Senegal, he's shocking.
He's done at
Absolutely
Chelsea for
diabolical.
me, Steve, as well. He's
He
done
is,
at
he is.
Chelsea.
He's no good. He's no good. And that Kepa must have been thinking, what do I have to do if he's ahead of me? But I'm sorry, Chelsea fans. They don't like me anyway. The Gremlins, I call them. They go that Mendy tonight. That was schoolboy goalkeeping. That was even to palm it out into the path of an oncoming player. Do you know what I mean? It's mad. But so yeah, Senegal, they lost Sadio Mane, so they're going to be fuming with that. And Holland, like you say, they didn't look overly impressive. You know what I mean? But USA and Wales, to me, being an England fan, I'm happy with that. It's a draw. They didn't look overly impressive. Wales looked better when they
amazing game
more
from Timothy Weah, ex-PSG player as well. His dad was a legend at PSG as well. He had a brilliant game, very technical.
His dad was a legend at City as well. He played for us.
Yeah, that's very true. Yeah, exactly. George Weah. Yeah, exactly.
I went to his debut. George Weah's debut was at Stockport County in a pre-season friendly.
Wow.
Yeah, I bought a T-shirt outside. It said George Weah, Ballon d'Or winner. And I went in the ground.
Man. That's class, man.
Right, and we won 4-1, and George Weah scored.
What year was that?
Oh, that was early. That was like 2002 or 2001. We signed George Weah, Paulo Wanchop, Alfie Haaland, Stevie Howe, and we got relegated. So
wow, the famous Paulo Wanchop. Oh,
great player.
You know what? I want to touch on. I know we moved on quite quickly from the groups.
Yeah,
but
go on.
With the Germany group.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest. When people say like my winners and stuff, obviously I think this is Brazil's time. I think this is the year they can do it. But you know when people say like who's your like sort of wild cards and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I think people are not putting enough respect on Spain. And I'm glad that I can discuss it with you guys. When it comes to Spain, right? When you look at the Euros and they got knocked out by Italy. Now, if we watched that game, we all watched that game against Italy in the Euros. They dominated, right? Dominated. They should have gone through. But tournament football, that's what happens. They went out. I looked at them and I thought, do you know what? Not many people respect Spain because before that tournament, everyone was talking about obviously like golden era is done now, and obviously they're going for a change.
Which is true. Which is true.
Yeah, which is true. No, I don't disrespect that. I think it's a very true statement, but it's then you don't sort of have a look, you don't really open your minds up to the players that are coming in, like the Dani Olmos and players like that. But they still played very good football under Luis Enrique. I think they would have won the Euros if they went on to beat Italy and play us in the final. And then what happened a year later? They went to the San Siro in the Nations League and absolutely dominated Italy. And then I think they lost to France in the final in the Nations League. But if you're looking at a Spain team right now that isn't full of superstars, but have been coached by Enrique for a few years now, and they're getting that good harmony together, I just think Spain always plays Spanish football. They keep the ball well, and they're always able to sort of carve open little gaps in midfield. And
also, their coach Luis Enrique is used to the Barcelona way to play as well.
Yeah.
So
I like Luis Enrique. I said to Daps, I think he's a potential replacement at Pep for City. But I
hope not for you, Big Steve. He's in my opinion, is awful, mate. Nothing to compare.
Fair play. But I just think Spain play good football. I think they're the ones that people need to watch out for. I think they're going under. I think for them it's a positive that no one's talking about them because
that means for you will be top of the group, Germany second, Spain, and then you go with Japan third and Costa Rica last.
I'm going Spain to top the group.
Woo! Okay.
Well.
Wow, impressive. That's the first time I'm hearing this. That Germany for me should be top of the group. Easy. I will even go
think
with
Spain
Germany.
Might roast you as the tournament goes
second.
on. I think they might slip up somewhere like Georgia, Japan, and just do what they do. But then as the tournament goes through, like I think Paolo said, you don't really want to face them because you know as the tournament goes deeper, they get better.
No, personally, I'll go with Germany, Japan, and then Spain third and Costa Rica last.
Spain to go out?
Yeah, you'll see, man. You'll see.
Can I ask you, by the way, I said to Steve and Daps, I think he could replace Pep. You said you think he's awful. Why?
Well, I don't like his style of play. He's too Barcelona for me, mate. It's just too Barcelona.
What's even bad about that?
No, but mate, Pep, I know it's already existing, man. Like Pep implemented this.
Yeah, I'm not a fan.
Tell us why then, Steve.
Just City fans, the people that tend to not really get Pep and the football, they just think, Pep leaves, let's get Enrique. Like you say, Barcelona links, they feel automatically he's going to play this football. But Our football is our football now. It's the Man City football. That's the academy play from under 6 all the way up to under 23. So we don't have to get a coach that plays like Pep. We just have to get a coach that can come in and knows how to play our way now. So I don't believe that's the route we're going to go. I don't think he's the greatest of coach. That's just my opinion.
I agree.
I don't think he should even be mentioned in the same breath as Pep. But
That's
like
Pep.
you say,
Same.
it is what it is. But City fans will still think that. But I don't know.
Problem is with Spain, do they have enough experienced players to get them down the line? You know what I mean? Do they have enough of them? Because they got a bunch of young players. It doesn't mean that they can't get far in the tournament. I think that Portugal played them a couple months back and they had most of possession. I think they had about 62% possession. But when it comes to being creative in possession and creating a lot of chances, they didn't really have that. So even when we have 32% possession, we still managed to create more chances than they did. And this is the problem. If you don't have experience in your team and composure from those experienced players, those young players can at times run out of ideas because they're young, innit? It's as simple as that. They got Pedri, they got a bunch of these young players.
I think the oldest one, mate, is Sergio Busquets.
Yeah.
He's still playing. He's still playing Ferran Torres up front because
I know Morata has been picked as well. I think
Morata as well. Yeah, exactly.
For me, that's where they lack for me because it's great if you have all the possession, and have the build-up play. But when you finally put it on a plate to the boys up the top, you need a gunman there that's going to smash it and finish it. And Ferran Torres will put more over the bar.
Talking about Spain, why the Manchester United keeper has not been selected? What's his name? David De Gea.
Right. Interestingly enough, so I don't know if you guys
found
know
it really weird. I'm not a United fan.
I've got the answer. I've got the answer. Actually, funny enough.
The fact that he's not being selected, I was like, what's going on?
Yeah, so basically, it's quite weird. Luis Enrique does something called like a keeper test. Don't know if you heard of it. Any of you guys?
No, what's that?
Right. So basically, when like you're in training drills or he monitors your matches, he marks you down out of 10 on your kicking, claiming, your save percentage, your safe holding percentage, like as in not parrying it and stuff like that. So he basically grades you on loads of marks out of 10. David Raya from Brentford actually won the test. So there was David Raya, Unai Simon, and Robert Sanchez from Brighton. So they're the 3 keepers that actually go to the World Cup. But Unai Simon is actually his number 1 because he's used to playing him. But in terms of like the test he carries out, David De Gea didn't finish even in the top 3 in terms of the test he marks you out of 10. It's mad. I'd never heard anything like it before. I was like, whoa, like he goes well in depth. So yeah, that's why. And like he doesn't fancy him. And on the test out of 10, marked him on loads of things. He doesn't fit into the category. So there you go.
Well, I think he's a world-class keeper. And I think in a young team like this, his experience would have been very useful in a World Cup.
Even Ramos. I mean, you
Thank
would know.
You, bro. I was about to mention,
right? You would know, but you need Ramos in that team, surely.
Of course.
You need him in that team. I know that, he had some time injured with PSG. I didn't really see much.
No, bro. You know why? There's this Barcelona Real Madrid thing, because Ramos was Real Madrid and he's a proud Spanish and stuff like that. Luis Enrique is Catalan. He's not really a big fan of Ramos, and I think there's something personal between them.
He should have came in, man.
It will be Eric Laporte and who plays the right side? Not Eric Garcia.
Yeah,
I hope it's not.
No, Garcia is awful, but
he's awful.
I think Ramos might have a little bit more of an influence in the dressing room that he doesn't like. I think a lot of players will listen to Ramos, and you might get little fractions in there. I think he's just probably freshening it up. I think he's taking a lot of younger guys, and he's dropping a couple of the older ones. And like you say, he's just listen. We all know that experience in the later stages is invaluable, and you want Ramos in your trenches if you're going into battle. I get that. But he's probably thinking, you know what, it's a new start, new World Cup, let's freshen it up. Don't hold on to older memories and sentiments, and let's just, get a fresh team. I mean, that's what
half of the Spanish team is Barcelona players.
Exactly, yeah. And one thing with England team, looking at the squad today, I was proud of it. You know what I mean? I was proud to see Jude Bellingham for me today was outstanding.
He's an amazing player.
That Manchester City have already wrapped him up because his value is going through.
Everyone wants to sign him, mate. He's
awesome, man. He's awesome, and he can only get better. And then you look at Saka, breath of fresh air, you know what I mean? And you bring, you know, Rashford's had a bad time of it, even though he's from the odd mob or from me.
And
He's had a bad
Sterling,
time of
Sterling
it.
is still here. Sterling is still
Comes
here.
on, scores, and then Jack Grealish as well. You know, I'm a big defender of Jack on my channels. I get a lot of grief for it, but I'm a generation where I watch football with my eyes. I don't watch football with stats. So if somebody plays football and he has a good game, then I call him he's having a good game. If somebody plays football and plays shit for 89 minutes and scores a goal, it doesn't mean he had a good game.
Yeah,
so Jack Grealish today, he came on and he was enjoying his football. He was going left, he was going right, he was winning up fouls. And then fair play to Callum Wilson, you know. He come off the bench. He got one.
Could have been selfish. The World Cup, big stage.
I'm shooting, mate. In the World Cup, at that, I'm shooting. I don't care. And he squared it to Jack. So big up. And that shows you a good sign of a good team spirit.
Yeah,
and all the players at the end, after the game, I seen a clip. They all went to the stands and sat in the stands with their friends and families. And it looked really good. So from an England point of view today, you know, we're in dreamland. We're not getting carried away. Had a couple of Pepsi Maxes and some chicken before England was coming home. But then when the sugar wore off, I calmed down a bit.
3 Lives on a Sleigh now, isn't it, the song?
Yeah, man.
Do you know what? Do you know what with England as well? I'll be honest with you. I was quite surprised today. Like, giving them their props, I thought Iran, I thought 1-0 England, a typical sort of tough grind, 50th minute, make a couple subs and get a deflected goal and it goes in. But today, like, the difference between England that you might have seen and the one that looks like you see today was the ruthlessness. They went 1, 2, 3, and you're thinking, okay, maybe rotate. No, they actually went for it. They scored 6. I know they conceded 2, but to show that like you want to put teams to the sword, you need to kind of do that in a competition because you want to get confidence in the whole squad. Well, you had Saka scoring, Bellingham, Rashford, Grealish, like you have so many
even the Man U defender, the awful one, what's his name? Harry Maguire.
Like he actually
the crossbar. What's going on?
Yeah, he played all right today. And like, do you know what? Just getting everyone chipping in. He
didn't look well though for him when he came off. He looked like he was a bit upset. So whether he's carrying or not, I don't know. But
he said he put a tweet out. I think he just said he felt rough.
Well, I seen that Harry Kane walking out the stadium with all his legs strapped up. So because he had a bad one, Kane, that his ankle got caught under the guy's challenge, and I thought he's
always had ankle issues like in the past as well. When you think about it,
I
think it's a perfect win for England. I think it's you couldn't get off on a better foot really. Obviously, you conceded a penalty late on, but scoring 6, going into that game against America on Friday. When you think about them, they've had a tough game tonight. Their squad depth for me, you could see that it's quite short. So when it gets to the 60th, 70th minute, if that game's tight, England can make the changes. And it's not making subs for the sake of it. You're bringing on Rashford, you're bringing on Fodens, you're bringing on Grealish. Like, these could start and no one would complain. So, man, it's a good start for you, Steve.
So talking about England, because obviously that's the main performance of the day. There was these questions from Demi Lee for Ty and Big Steve. How far will England go? What do you think?
I'll let Steve go first.
Listen, I said before in the show, for me, it's down to Gareth. If he lets us play and we have a goal, we can go where we need to go. We can get to the final. We can, you know, don't want to tempt fate, but we've got a great enough squad. If we won it, then no one would say out. But it's just that's the mental block for me. I've been to a lot of England games over the years, been to the Euros and final and that, and watching him. He's just a very defensive, very safe manager. And I think with the players at his disposal, if we had a manager that had a bit of a attacking or a bit of swashbuckling about him, I tell you what, right? People laughed at me. Yeah, I said that England should go out and get Zinedine Zidane, and they went, "He won't come." You know what though, Stuart? He said he won't come to England. He said he won't come to England. I said he will come to England. I said because if you pay him enough, he'll come to England.
Steve, I don't think he speaks proper English as well.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter, man. We've had Capello. You know, we've had people. What I'm trying to say is, this generation of England players grew up idolising Zinedine Zidane. The amount of respect that he would have in the England dressing room, if he starts talking in the England dressing room, the whole squad is going to sit there and listen. If he puts a system on the table, that whole squad is going to buy into it. I'm no disrespect to Gareth Southgate, but as a player and as a manager, he's done zero, right? So if he goes in that dressing room and starts to mouth it, to a few of them, they're probably going to
Oh,
think.
you
"Oh,
mean the credibility?
Which
The
he doesn't.
the
credibility,
credibility
yeah.
of him. That's in my opinion. But I just think we can go on, carry on going through these tournaments and singing about Gareth's fucking waistcoat and end up crying at the end of it. Or we can actually bite the bullet and get a serial winner who's going to get this generation over the line and start playing with a bit of flair. Because the last thing I want to see, today we beat Iran, yeah? We had Declan Rice and Jude Bellingham sat in a holding role halfway through it. Iran, if we play with 8 men, Iran is never going to outrun us.
Yeah.
So this is the little things. I know we're on the back of a win and I'm not criticising that way, but the only downfall of England for me in this competition, to stop us getting that far, will be Gareth shitting his pants and playing an absolute dead negative
I agree
team.
because the squad is elite. The squad is quality. So if it blocks somewhere, it will be because of the manager. I agree with you.
If it was based on paper and you took away the managers, would you say, Steve, that England should be in the semi-finals?
Such as on paper, PSG should win the Champions League
because we've got the
it's
tools.
The same,
We've got the tools to beat anyone on the day, but it's whether you can use them in it. Whoever can use them. Some managers would look at that squad and think, that is my dream squad. I could play him in a 10. I could play him. Right. Surely to God, England can find a system where they get Jack Grealish, Phil Foden, Raheem Sterling, Saka, Kane in that team. Even if you play one holding midfielder, Jude Bellingham, and you play Jack Grealish, Mason Mount, Jack Grealish, Phil Foden, then you play, Saka out wide or Foden out wide. Can you imagine another manager looking at England's team and thinking, shit, we've got Jack Grealish in the 10, Foden, he might play left or in the 10. We've got Harry Kane to worry about. We've got Saka's pace on the left, but they don't. They look at England. We all knew how England was lining up today. We knew it before the game, and that's the downfall. We're too predictable. But if we had a swashbuckling manager who went for it, we could kill anyone on the day.
From a French perspective, we look at England as not being a real threat because the squad on paper, as you said, Ty, looks amazing, but we always know that it blocks somewhere when you reach a certain stage of the competition.
But the problem is now as well is that in recent tournaments we've seen England go far, and they've had a somewhat, I wouldn't want to say easy, but quite comfortable route.
That's what I was saying. Like, you think missed opportunities,
exactly. But this one here is going to be this is probably going to be Gareth's most difficult road to the final. So if he gets knocked out, let's say semi-final, and I hear a lot of fans saying he needs to be fired if he gets knocked out in this tournament, this is his last chance. Okay, but if he gets into the round of 16, he's probably facing, I think it's Senegal or Netherlands. Again, those are already tough games, but he should win. England should win those games.
Yeah.
Then they get
France.
France finish first. They get France. Now if he gets knocked out by France, which look, that's a very competitive game. Do you want him sacked? Steve, would you want him sacked?
For me, I'd be open and honest with him. Even if he wins the World Cup, get rid of him.
Oh, there you go then. So it doesn't matter. You see, this is the thing.
He's had 3 tournaments. He's had 3 tournaments.
It's the end of an era. Yeah, I get that.
You need to freshen it up. You need to freshen it up. I hope he wins it, sails off into the sunset, gets the manager's job at Everton and goes down, because that's about his level.
We say the same for Didier Deschamps as well. When obviously he won the World Cup, etc. We also want Zidane. We're craving for Zidane, and apparently Zidane refused the PSG job because he wants the France job, the national team. So obviously we can't wait to have Zidane, and if even Didier Deschamps wins the World Cup this year,
perfect time for
that's the end of an era. Take it now, leave. Yeah.
This is
but you know what, Paolo? What about you? You've had Fernando Santos for God knows how long.
I was just about to say that.
Yeah. What about you?
You look at Gareth Southgate, you look at Deschamps, you look at Fernando Santos. These managers, right? If they don't get it right in this World Cup and they bottle it, they need to go, because they've been there for ages. Fernando
but Paolo, what you asked the same question to Steve? If you win the World Cup, does Fernando Santos stay on?
Nah, you got to get rid of him.
There you go. A lot of teams in the same boat here. All 3 of you are in the same boat.
Yeah, exactly.
No sentimental. No.
What about Brazil?
No, I think Tite stays. Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
I think, like you said, when you look at Brazil and the years you've looked at the individuals and stuff you rely on, this is like the team where everyone's looking at them as a team. So if you've got a manager that's finally got that together, and you've got the kind of talent that you're coming through with at the moment, especially in attack, I just think let them build and carry on going, obviously, until the Copa America, when that comes around again. And I just think you assess it then. I think, you know what, they drew 3 games, won the rest of them in the qualifiers. What's there really to complain about? You've got a squad there that you look at now, and you've even got players like Martinelli that can come and have an impact. Like we're discussing the depth of England's attack. You look at Brazil's attack, and that's basically the same issue, and the same, which is a good issue to have if you look at it in tournament football. So I think right now, I think Tite's got it bang on. The good thing is what Steve said about England being predictable. With Brazil, they're not, and that's a good thing. Because you look at the midfield, I was looking even at the last 5 games, and when you look at the lineups as well, you have like Casemiro, Paqueta, Fred, then you have Casemiro with sometimes Fabinho, and then you might have Neymar in the 10. Like he keeps mixing up. Sometimes Neymar plays up front, and then Charleston's dropping out, and then Jesus
because all players they are so versatile,
yeah,
all of them.
Yeah, so versatile. They've got energy.
Positions.
They've got energy. Obviously, they've never been the most physical team, as in you're going to get a 6'5" striker who's going to head it in. I get that, but in terms of creativity, flair, balance, they seem to have that right now, and this is why I'm so excited. Like honestly, if I had a hairline, I would have got the Ronaldo 02 haircut. Unfortunately, I don't. I'm bald. but yeah, I don't know. I'm excited for this Brazil team, and I feel like the footballing world are excited for Brazil because I think deep down, a lot of people believe that they could win it this year, and I think it's a nice thing to be like talking about.
The other main contender is Argentina. Tell me your thoughts about Argentina, guys, because again, last World Cup of Messi, as I said earlier, the players they said publicly they're ready to die on the pitch for Messi to win that World Cup. Their squad looks decent as well. We saw the final against Brazil for the Copa America, and it was a banging goal from Di Maria as well. Big up Di Maria, love him. And yeah, what do you think? Do you think Argentina can make it and looks better than Brazil?
Do you know what's funny? I actually went to Wembley when they played Italy in the Finalisma in June. Yeah, and they played a full strength side. Funny enough, obviously Martinez from Man United, obviously been one of the best centre backs in the league this year. He doesn't even start for them. They play Otamendi, Romero still. So like it's remarkable.
Otamendi, mate. Oh
yeah, he's still playing. These legends still playing,
mate. Don't disrespect
Otamendi,
do you know what I mean?
He plays Otamendi. Do you know why he plays Otamendi? Let me tell you this, yeah. Manchester City won Centurions and things like that with Otamendi, yeah, because Otamendi is an old school, aggressive, angry centre back. So if you get somebody next to him that's got a brain,
pace,
it actually works. If you put Otamendi next to someone who's exactly the same, if you put Martinez and Otamendi at centre back, they'd be both sent off after 10 minutes and there'd be a bloodbath. So Otamendi, when he plays, gets these picked for these teams for a reason, because he is actually a decent player. But because people go, he dives in, he goes, yeah, sometimes he does. But I tell you what,
only dives in.
Saves us, man. Saves us.
We played against Benfica and we struggled against Benfica because Otamendi was
you drew twice, dude. You drew twice.
He was so sneaky, mate. He's the type of player that
he knows what he's doing, man.
And do you know what? When I watched them, this is what I'm saying. When I watched them at Wembley, you know what we said about Brazil now? Team. This is the best Argentina team I've seen. And my dad's proper old school. He loves Gabriel Batistuta. Like he loves him.
I do.
Yeah, exactly, Steve. And I watched this Argentina team and I was like, do you know what? Proper team. Di Maria scored. You got Lautaro Martinez, I'm not a fan of him playing as a lone striker. I don't think he's like physical enough, but he drops in the pockets well. And Messi, they kind of just let him do what he wants.
Alvarez, man. Don't forget Alvarez.
And you got Alvarez, who's a great option as well, that can come on, who can rotate, who can start some games. So I think as a team, this is a good Argentinian team. And you know what's so funny as well? You look at coaches that like manage teams, like Gareth Southgate, obviously was a good player, but he wasn't world class. You got Didier Deschamps, okay, he was a very good player. But you got Fernando Santos, and then you got who's the Scaloni, I think it is, the Argentina coach. Like it's not like, oh my god, he was amazing, but sometimes you just need a coach that can get teams together. It doesn't have to be the biggest ego, and that's what they've got right now with Argentina. And I think they're a dangerous threat. It's just whether like when it gets gritty, is that midfield good enough? You know, they've got Rodrigo de Paul in there, but then they have the injuries. Lo Celso, I'm not a big fan, but he starts for them. He's injured now. Like, have they got that quality all the way through the squad? The wing backs, are they quite good enough to get into a semi and a final and win it? I don't know what you guys think, but I think they can score goals. I think Messi will be good, but
yeah, I think Argentina, when you look at the route, I think they have one of the easiest routes to the final. So this is why I think a lot of people are giving them a good chance as well, and they haven't lost in 2 years or something crazy.
Their group is easy. Let me tell you, their group is with Mexico, Poland, and Saudi Arabia.
They're through.
Yeah, easy.
Do you guys think they're good enough to win it?
I just think that with Argentina, they get a chance in this group to try different things. So some teams in some groups, they can't mess around. They've got to get on it from front foot. This group, they can think, you know what, Saudi Arabia game, let's try this. Let's bring these players on. England did it today. They threw a load of lads on, got minutes under the belt. It's invaluable. So Argentina, for me, I think they can win it. But like Stuart said before, when he says about England having this mental block and you seem to think something's going to happen, the same with Argentina. Even when Messi was in his prime, we had the same conversations at other World Cups. Messi's going to take this World Cup. Yeah. He's unbelievable.
Germany in the final.
There's always that little something that goes wrong. I mean, when they won it in the past with Maradona was, this is why for me, Maradona was levels above everyone else. He's the greatest player I've ever seen in my life. I love him. My house is like a shrine to I'm the only Englishman that's got a shrine to Diego Maradona in my house. I've got candles from Naples. I've got signed shirts. I've got everything. People think it's weird, but I just love Diego Maradona and what he can do. And I'd love Messi. I'd love Messi to go out in style like that. Be a fitting end. Same with Ronaldo. Do you know what I mean?
I was about to ask Paulo.
Ronaldo,
they don't play. The Portuguese team don't play for Ronaldo the same way the Argentinian team plays for Messi, isn't it?
Yeah. No, they're both different players. We compare them, but they've always been different players. Messi can play in that number 10 role even now, and Ronaldo has developed himself into a more of a classic number 9. And you know, Portugal, before 2016, he would carry Portugal. Now it's almost like a lot of people have been saying, do you have to carry Ronaldo? Which I've been hearing a lot, because he does tend to tie after 60 minutes. Again, he's that player who can't do what he did before. He's not as quick. However, he's still a player who in these big moments will shine. And I think he hasn't been great for Man United this season. He hasn't been great. But one thing I will say is if you get a good cross on him, you get him in positions where you give him a bit of space and he can be that difference maker. Is he going to start every game? He probably is. And there are Portuguese fans I've heard saying he shouldn't start. You don't have Jota there, so you can't really drop Ronaldo really in this tournament. If Jota was fit, maybe you could have said, just play Jota. You got more fluidity up front because Ronaldo is always going to be looking for those passes into him. Jota's a bit more fluid. He can drop into midfield. He's a lot more active, right? And I feel like it shouldn't be about Ronaldo in this tournament in terms of quality, because there's so many players in this team who could do the business. Bernardo Silva, Rafael Leão, these players are going to stand out, and I hope João Felix actually gets a...
I was just about to say to you about João Felix, or would you play Goncalo Ramos in there? Could they do a better job? I don't know.
Gonzalo Ramos, again, a player. I mean, you saw Stu in the Champions League. Gonzalo Ramos, Benfica, such a good player. Is he going to get even into the team though? That's the problem. You've got Antonio Silva at centre back as well for Benfica. Again, another great player. Pepe hasn't been fit, and I know he's 30. And again, another player.
Tell me your feeling around Nuno Mendes and Danilo Pereira
and Vitinha.
And Vitinha as well. Yeah, Vitinha, come on, yeah.
No, yeah, Danilo. I think Danilo. I've watched some of his games with PSG, and I think he does a good job at centre back. I don't know what you think. I think at times there's lapses in concentration from Danilo.
I prefer him in the midfield, to be fair.
You prefer him in midfield? Yeah. There you go. But the problem is he won't get into our midfield. Ruben Neves, Bernardo Silva. Unfortunately, Renato Sanchez didn't make the tournament, which is unfortunate. But he's not going to get into our midfield, and that's why he's being played at centre back, because players like Pepe, who are not fit, Antonio Silva is still very young,
18, isn't it? Yeah.
18, so I think he's going to start Ruben Diaz and Danilo at centre back, which I don't mind. Nuno Mendes, for me, one of the best left backs in the world. One of the best left backs in the world. He is a true talent. Like that fullback, right? João Cancelo and Nuno Mendes at left back is ridiculous. Like, Ronaldo should not be getting problems with service in this World Cup. So if he doesn't perform,
you'll find a way to moan, Paolo. Don't worry.
Oh, listen. But yeah, I think Nuno Mendes, he's one of the youngsters I would look out for in this tournament, because he hasn't had that international tournament where you look out for him. I mean, he's at PSG anyway, so people know.
Same as Vitinha as well.
Vitinha. The thing is, Vitinha again. Another player, is he going to get into the midfield? Because you've got so many options. And I think that Ghana, again, another game which is not going to be easy. Uruguay, a very tough game. João Palhinha as well, a player at Fulham.
Yeah, played very well against us.
Yeah, he played very well against us. Yeah, and I think that if he should play against Uruguay. Stability in midfield, composure, protection.
Physical presence.
Yeah, physical presence. You know what's in there. Long range passing, you need him there. perhaps maybe against South Korea, if you're already through, you can play, you can mess about a bit more in midfield. You can mess about, maybe play Vitinha, play Ruben Neves, play Bruno Fernandes in midfield. Get a bit more. You don't need a defensive midfield. You've got players active off the ball. Otavio for Porto as well. These are really good players off the ball, and that's what you need. If you have players who don't want to track back and they're lazy, you're down to lose these games. This is international football. These are tough games. You need players who are active and who are willing to make the difference.
Agreed. Last but not least, because it's almost an hour actually, we're gonna finish by the World Cup champions, the French, obviously.
Yeah.
Our group is Australia, Denmark, France, and Tunisia. What are your thoughts around this group? Obviously, I think we should top that group. I'd say second, Denmark. Denmark is a bit of a dark horse. To be fair, they have a strong squad. And then I'll go with Tunisia third, Australia last. Again, I'd say this. I don't think it will be our year. Maybe, as I said, I really believe in this curse around when you won the previous one. It will be a bit complicated for not necessarily being kicked out of the group stage, but the squad looks completely different. I think I was so sad to lose Benzema, mate. It was his last one.
Yeah.
Like Ballon d'Or,
I'm
like it
gutted
was
as a football
the
fan, man.
last option, last chance for him, And that's so sad. And there's plenty of people, players, that publicly said that they're not confident and comfortable, and they do not trust the medical staff of France. They have issues with the medical staff, and that's why now you can see all those players getting injured, etc. They're not really happy by the way it is handled. So unfortunately, the squad is not as strong as 2018, but I still think we can at least reach the quarterfinals.
People in France, quickly, just before you get our thoughts, Stu. In France, is the feeling the same as what yours is? As in, like, our France community, the French community, like, we're not going to win it this year? Or is there still like sort of a divide where something?
Objectively, I can't speak on behalf of all the French people.
The people you're sort of talking to, they all
around me, that's the same thing. Obviously, we believe in our country, we believe in our team. We have the international pedigree in the squad as well. The experience, everything. The coach is having this experience as well. We have everything to go far, but considering the key players that are missing now, the injuries right before starting the competition as well, the mood in the squad, the general mood in the squad as well, the vibe, it's a bit of a weird vibe right now.
It's strange, like this year, like I feel like in the last couple of tournaments, we've said France, again, top favorites to win this tournament. This year, it's been a bit different. It's been like, I'm not sensing it as much for France. However, that doesn't mean they can't get far in this tournament. And I think that's down to the fact that we always have favorites in these tournaments, but look how many teams can win.
Exactly.
England can do something. You still got, listen, we have our doubts about
way more competitive.
Portugal, Germany, France. There's like 8 teams you could look at.
Massive tournament this year.
And when you look at the way the fixtures are, where Paolo's obviously been matching up like last 16, I've done my own one. When you get a link sent, you can like generate your own one.
Yeah.
When I did mine, the quarters that came out, it was like banger.
All right, talking about this, thank you, Ty. I'm gonna give it a try now because obviously Matchday is sponsoring the live, so I'm just gonna give you a try. They have this software where you can predict the group phases and the result of the World Cup. So I'm just gonna you guys did it, isn't it? Don't laugh at me, right? I'm gonna give it a try now, and if it works, let's give it a try. So it's Matchday now. It's a bit like FIFA. So I have opened like a pack of players. And then if I click play here, then it generates the score prediction and everything. So it's actually quite cool. That's an American-based company, by the way, in San Francisco.
Okay.
Make predictions. Let's give it a try. New prediction. Upcoming matches. Okay, group winners. Group A. So what shall I do? Group A, Group C. Okay.
I think I did this earlier, but it only lets you select certain groups. It doesn't let you do all the way through to the final.
Yeah, Argentina. I'll go with France. I'll go with Germany. And F, I'll go not Belgium, obviously. That's a tricky one, actually. You know what? I'll go with Croatia.
Who's in that group again?
You have Belgium, Canada, Croatia, Morocco.
Yeah, I think Croatia finished top as well.
Yeah. And then what do we have? Early bird, upcoming matches. Okay, let's do this together then. So that is tomorrow. Argentina. what do you have tomorrow? Let me check. Argentina against Saudi Arabia. Predict I'm going for a 3-0 Argentina. Continue.
5-0 that's going to be.
You think so?
I think that's a battering tomorrow. I think like it's mad. I think we're going to see a massacre tomorrow. I'm not even going to lie.
What-
Is there anything like Qatar? Then
What about so Argentina, Saudi Arabia? I'm going 3-0. Those are the games of tomorrow, yeah?
Yeah.
So and then we have Denmark, Tunisia. I think Denmark
I'm
will
gonna
win
go
that one.
Denmark
Denmark.
2-0.
Denmark 2-0 or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. Same Steve. Yeah.
Mexico,
I think Denmark could finish top of that group. I think Stu could be. He needs to
Mexico,
go.
Poland.
I fancy Mexico, me. I don't know
The
why.
goalkeeper's going to do a madness like he always does.
Hmm.
The Mexican goalkeeper's always going to do a madness. Ochoa, innit? That's him.
Yeah, he still played.
Yeah.
And
Poland
the
One all.
last game of the day, sorry, will be France, Australia.
Australia.
Just to annoy him.
I love that. I love
Big fan of
that.
Neighbours, man.
The way
Neighbours
he said there as well.
Neighbours has made a comeback, man. Neighbours has made a comeback on Amazon Prime, I think.
Harry
So.
Kewell's coming out of retirement.
Yeah. Roy Wegley up front.
Okay. So that was a good one. Thanks for joining, guys. We'll do this every 2 days, catch up on everything that's happening in the World Cup. Big up to Matchday and FanFest for sponsoring the content as well. Follow Paulo on his channel as well. Ty, Never a Foul.
Yeah, Never a Foul. I'm
Big
gonna
Steve,
change my name
MCFC.
to Never a Foul. Actually, I don't know why. Yeah.
Never a Foul. And Big Steve as well, MCFC, massive Man City fan as
Yeah,
we
man.
know.
I think we need to let people know as well that there's a lot of people watching on respective channels, but if they want to get involved in the active chat on here, they have to go through the FanFest link.
Exactly.
And then we can see it on the chat.
Yeah,
there,
we'll have to
right?
make sure that we have to make
shows
sure
going forward.
Mm.
If you want to get involved in this channel and we can see your chat, come onto the FanFest link, join the chat, and get active in here. And
Thank you, Steve, because starting the second episode, if you join the link on FanFest, we have the option to bring you on the show. You have a little button at the bottom that says request to join, and we can bring random fans on the show to exchange with us. So if you are interested in exchanging with us, just click the button, ask to join. Obviously, make sure your camera and your connection and your audio is working well, and you can join the show starting Wednesday, exchanging with us on the World Cup. So make sure to follow us on the FanFest link. Create an account. It takes literally like 2 seconds. And yeah, thanks guys for joining, and enjoy tomorrow's games. And allez les bleus, allez les bleus, allez les bleus, allez les bleus.
We'll see you Wednesday.
See you Wednesday. Have a good one. Take care. Bye bye.
Yeah.
Oh, have you just gone?
I think so.
We just left.
Oh, perfect. That was good though. Enjoyed that. You know what's
still
right?
Live? Is it still live? Is it still live?
I think we all need to leave.